On a stormy Sunday morning, Elizabeth's steps were heavy as she made her way through the village, her bare feet pressing into the cool, damp earth. The night air was thick with the scent of rain, mingling with the remnants of smoke that clung to her skin from the ruined church. She looked around at the familiar paths, the shadows of huts illuminated by flickering oil lamps, and the faces of her fellow villagers emerging from the darkness, eyes wide with fear and questions. "Elizabeth," a voice called out trembling. It was Mama Ifeoma, the elder who had always been a source of wisdom. "What happened? What evil descended upon us tonight?" Elizabeth stopped and turned to the gathering crowd. The fear in their eyes mirrored her own lingering dread, but she knew she couldn't falter now. The events of the night had to be spoken aloud, not buried in whispers or silenced by fear. "Pastor Joshua was not who he claimed to be," she began, her voice steady despite the exhaustion weighing on her. "He made a pact with the spirits of the river, trading his soul for power. We have been deceived, our prayers twisted, our faith manipulated. But tonight, the truth was revealed, and the darkness defeated." A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Mothers clutched their children tighter, and men exchanged uneasy glances. The weight of her words settled over them like a suffocating fog. "But how did this happen?" Chijioke, a young farmer, asked. "We trusted him. We believed in him." Elizabeth nodded, understanding his disbelief. "He used our faith against us. He spoke with a tongue of honey, but his heart was filled with poison. The spirits warned me in my dreams, but I didn't want to believe. Tonight, when the church trembled and his true form was revealed, it became clear. Pastor Joshua was not serving the God we thought. He was serving himself." The crowd murmured uneasily, their voices overlapping. "What do we do now?" Ngozi, the village weaver, stepped forward. "Without him, who will guide us? Who will lead our prayers?" Elizabeth felt the weight of the question. The village had relied on Pastor Joshua for years, his sermons weaving a sense of hope and unity among the people. But that unity had been a facade, built on lies. They couldn't return to the way things were. "We return to the ways of our ancestors," Elizabeth declared, her voice firm. "Before the churches, before the missionaries, our forebears knew the truth. They respected the spirits of the land, the river, and the skies. They prayed to the Creator through the trees, the wind, and the earth. It is time we remember those ways." Mama Ifeoma stepped forward, her eyes glistening. "She is right. The teachings of our ancestors were not meant to be discarded. They carried wisdom older than any church. We will rebuild, not a church, but a shrine to honor the spirits that saved us tonight." A murmur of agreement spread through the crowd, hesitant but growing stronger. Elizabeth saw the shift in their faces, a mix of relief and resolve. They were ready to reclaim their identity, to sever the chains of blind faith and return to the truths buried beneath years of deceit. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, the villagers gathered by the riverbank where the glowing waters had once surged beneath the church. Elizabeth led them in silence, her heart swelling with determination. The ruins of the church stood stark against the morning light, a testament to what had been lost and what had been gained. Under Mama Ifeoma's guidance, the villagers began to build. They used stones from the river, wood from the sacred iroko tree, and clay from the earth. Their hands worked tirelessly, guided by a shared purpose. The shrine they constructed was simple but powerful, adorned with symbols of the river spirits and the ancestors' blessings. When the shrine was complete, Elizabeth stood before it, her heart pounding. She reached out and touched the cool stone, closing her eyes as a sense of peace washed over her. For the first time in weeks, she felt the burden of fear lift entirely. "Let this be a place of truth," she said, her voice echoing in the stillness. "A place where we can seek guidance and strength, where our faith is rooted in the land that nurtures us and the ancestors who watch over us." The villagers knelt, offering prayers and thanks to the spirits. The air seemed to hum with energy, a warmth spreading through them all. Elizabeth watched as their faces softened, their faith shifting from fear to hope. In the days that followed, Elizabeth shared her story with anyone who would listen. Travellers from neighbouring villages came to hear about the serpent pastor and the power of the true spirits. The shrine became a beacon, a reminder that faith must be grounded in honesty and respect for the forces that govern the world. Elizabeth knew her journey wasn't over. Darkness would always seek a way to return, and faith would always be tested. But she also knew that the truth had a power of its own, one that could not be silenced. She vowed to protect that truth, to stand firm against any who sought to corrupt it. And as the villagers gathered around the shrine each evening, their voices rising in song and prayer, Elizabeth felt the strength of their unity. They were no longer victims of blind trust. They were a community bound by truth, rooted in the light. If this story captivated you, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. They need to hear this truth too. The power of faith is immense, but we must remember that not all who claim to wield it are truly worthy. We're all on this journey together, and it's crucial to keep learning and growing. And if you want more incredible African folktales and supernatural stories like this, hit that subscribe button now. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next, and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you're always in the know. If you're hungry for more, check out our other videos.